Hi, this is a quick introduction to the library's website for History 202. My name is Alexis Wolstein, and I am your librarian for all of the courses in the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Today, I am going to walk you through some basics of Super Search, the library's search tool on their homepage, and we'll also take a look at the course research guide for History 202, which you'll see right here. This is a guide that is set up especially with your course in mind that is going to walk you through doing research for History 202, but also has links to ask for help and contact me, your librarian, who you'll see right here on the left. So, if you take away nothing from today's session, aside from the fact that there's a friendly librarian who's happy to help you, and that there is a lot of online resources to get your research started, then you'll be doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and go back to the library's homepage. You'll see that the library website is just csupueblo.edu/library. You can also find us under the academics section here at the CSU Pueblo bar up the top. University Library is linked there, and we're also linked on the left side of your course Blackboard. You'll see a couple very prominent bars on the screen to start with. These are going to highlight the hours that campus is currently open during our reduced access at this current time. And there's also a red banner right now that mentions that you need to sign up for your Net ID. Your Net ID is one of two current accounts that you have that are going to get you access to things through the library's website. One is Net ID, and the other is your e-account and password. That's the same one that you use to log into your Blackboard or your email. So if you don't already have our Net ID, make sure to take the time to set that up. I'm going to go ahead and close that and scroll down just a little bit so we can get a better look at the super search box. Now, the super search box is the discovery tool that we use to find things at the library. It's not a super everything search. It looks at the things that we have in our collection, so the physical items that are in the library's catalog and then the library building, but also a wide selection of articles, videos, government documents, and other resources that we have access to online. Many of these come from scholarly journals, and many of these scholarly journals are grouped together in databases that you can search as well. But Super Search is going to look across several different databases as well as the library's catalog, making it a really good place to start your search. The other really important thing to remember when it comes to Super Search is that you can search for a wide variety of topics, be it a title, a keyword, anything like that. And it is, again, going to prioritize the things that the library owns. You want to start your search at the library website so that you will always be prompted to use that e-account and password or your Net ID to get access to all of these thousands upon thousands and thousands of resources we have for you online. So once I click on the super search box, you're going to see a wide variety of search terms that I've been using recently. And you can see that there's a lot of different ways to search. I can search for a basic phrase or set of keywords like video games or wildflowers in Colorado. I can look for a broader subject like Chicano history. I can look for an actual title. This is one that I was looking up for a student recently. Or I can actually look up more than one phrase and see how they work together. For the purposes of our lesson today, I'm going to look up just a broad concept, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Seems very pertinent to History 202. Now, you can see a lot of information in your search results just by scrolling through. That includes how many search results I had for Cuban Missile Crisis. In this case, it was over 26,000. I'm seeing that I have books, videos, some of them available online. Some of them are going to be available in our physical collection, it looks like. These are all different things that are coming up in my search results. I'm also seeing a window right here asking if you'd like to chat with a librarian. This is really a handy tool because it connects you with a real live librarian, myself or one of my colleagues, just by clicking on Chat Now. And that is going to put you in touch with whoever is currently logged in. It's a great way to get answers for questions at the moment or questions about access. But of course, you can always feel free to contact me directly. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. And if I had changed my mind and figured, oh, I really do need some help, I can click on this orange box here that says Ask Us when I hover over it. Click on that and the chat box will come right back up. Excuse me. So I'm seeing videos that are available online. I'm seeing a lot of books as well as books that are in the physical collection, books that are going to have online access. I'm getting some that are by scholarly authors, and I'm getting others that are by government documents. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a set of filter tools. Now, almost every database you work with, or search engine for that matter, is going to have a set of filters that will allow you to change the way that your results are being presented to you. You can see that we have these sorted by relevance, so the ones that are most relevant to our search, but I can also sort them by date, title, or author. The really helpful tools are these other filters, though, in my opinion. These allow us to show only certain types of resources. So if I wanted to make sure I was only getting ones that were available to me online, so I didn't have to come to campus, I can click right here and have a choice to add online as CSU Pueblo to my search. I can also say that I only want them to be scholarly articles, scholarly materials from peer-reviewed journals. And then I can even go further and say, I only want articles from those peer-reviewed scholarly journals, because there's other things in there too, like book reviews and uh, conference proceedings. If I scroll down further, I can see that I can also filter by publication date. This can be very helpful if you're looking for the most up-to-date information on a topic or information from a certain time period. And then if I click on subject, you'll see that I have other terms that are going to allow me to focus in on what part of the Cuban Missile Crisis am I most interested in. And these are things that are listed as the subject, so the focus of the things that I have found in my search results. So if I add presidents or nuclear weapons or war, political aspects to my search, it will filter my results to just ones that have to do with those subjects under the Cuban Missile Crisis. So I could add political aspects, Cold War, and maybe I'm also interested in foreign policy. In addition to helping you filter your search results, these can be really helpful in finding other terms that you might not have thought of including, like cable television broadcasting industry and how the Cuban Missile Crisis affected that. Or maybe you didn't think of filtering your results to just ones having to do with the sitting president at the time, JFK. As I scroll down further, you'll also see that you can limit by language. This can be really helpful if you're finding that many of your articles are coming up in other languages that you don't speak. It's pretty easy to limit it to just English and any other languages that you might be able to read. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply all these filters, and my 26,000 results are now down to just 860, a much more manageable collection of results. You can see all of the filters that I've added are now here on the left. I can see that I have online as CSU Pueblo, that I'm getting scholarly journals and articles from there that are focusing on these topics and then are in English. I can lock all these filters if I'd like, or I can remove just one at a time if I find that they're not helping my search. So if I found that foreign policy wasn't useful to my search, I could remove that filter without having to redo my entire search. Now, because I've chosen online peer-reviewed journal articles, you'll see that all of my search results have this icon that's saying they're coming from a peer-reviewed publication, and they're also going to have a link that says full text available, or sometimes this will say online access. This is where you're going to click or on the title to get to the actual record of the article. where in addition to even more information on your article, you'll see where you can get online access to the publication that you're trying to get to. In this case, it's from an open access journal that you will be able to access anywhere, regardless of your CSU Pueblo credentials. And if we didn't have access to it, you could click on this CSU Pueblo Interlibrary Loan link and then log in with your new CSU System Net ID to request that our interlibrary loan technicians will track it down from another library for you. It's a great tool. Let's go ahead and go back to that item record for the article. And as I scroll past the access, you'll see more subjects that'll let me know what is the focus of the article that I found, as well as other things related to the article that I might not have thought of. And as I keep scrolling, I will see all the publication information and an abstract, a summary of the article. Sometimes this will be a description, or if it's an ebook, you'll see a table of contents. All of it's going to give you more information to find out if this is an article that's really relevant to the topic you're researching, or is it just something with a snappy title. At the very bottom is where you're going to see some other tools that'll help you keep track of this. The permalink is a permanent link to this page so that you can always get back to it here in the library catalog and log in for access. The URL up here in your web browser is actually going to be a dead link, usually within an hour, because it's the long roundabout path we took to get here. So make sure that you're taking advantage of this permalink. It's, like I said, a permanent link back to this page. The other really great tool here is the citation button. If you click on the citation button, it will generate a citation for this article for you in one of several different citation styles. This is really handy. It's going to save you a lot of time, but keep in mind that this is computer generated, so you want to make sure that you compare it against a citation guide and make sure that everything looks 100% correct. But it does save a lot of time, and you're going to find buttons like the permalink and the citation button not just here in Super Search of a library catalog, but throughout a lot of the databases to which we subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and close this article by clicking on the X here and take a look at another one. Let's take a look at this one here from the Journal of Cold War Studies. Again, I can click on full text available or the title to take me to the record page. And then I will see all of that extra information as well as the different databases that have access to this article for me. So in this case, we have access to it for the Academic Search Premier database, as well as EBSCO hosts military and government collection. And if I didn't have access, I could again use that CSU Pueblo Interlibrary Loan link. This article was published in 2014, so I don't have to worry about the most recent year not being available. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that title, and that is going to take me to another login screen. Now, this is going to look different than the one that we saw for interlibrary loan, and that's because this one is asking for my e-account. I'm going to go ahead and log in here using my e-account and password. And the database will direct me to the article in its collection. Now, again, it doesn't look exactly the same in the record as it does in Super Search, but you'll see I also have the cite tool here, as well as another link to get that permalink. I'll see subject terms again, and I can click on each one of these to find other articles in this database that relate to those subject terms. I have an abstract, and all of the publication information. And in the case of this article, I can access it by clicking on a PDF full text link to download that article. Now I can read it here online, or I can download it by clicking here and download it to my desktop or wherever I'd like, just like any other PDF, so I could read it from anywhere, whether I had internet access or not. So that is just one quick example of how we can use the filter tools to find more relevant articles and access them through super search. I'm going to go ahead and close this out here and scroll up to the top, because you'll see that there's a couple other ways to do your search. I could click on new search here and just start all over again, or click on super search and go back to the home page. I could also go and search for a specific journal. Maybe I found that the European Journal of American Studies that my first article resulted in has been a great resource. I could go and search and find that journal and just search there. I could also go to the full list of databases that the library subscribes to. There are hundreds and hundreds of databases we subscribe to, and you can browse them all by their subject and the type of things that they contain. But that can even be overwhelming. This is when the research guides come in handy. So you can click on research guides up here to do exactly like it says and find recommended sources, but you can also find that link right back on the home page underneath the super search box. So let's go ahead and click on the research guides link. This is going to take us to a list of all of the research guides that we have available to you. Now you will see that you can search them by the subject, and this will show you that we have a subject guide for pretty much every topic that is taught at CSU Pueblo. And this is going to, again, give recommended resources that are going to be specific to that subject. Because as you can imagine, what you might need for American Sign Language is going to be very different than anthropology, different than art, different than automotive industry management, and different than biology. You can also look at the different types of guides. Some of them are course guides, some of them are general purpose. You can also look and see who owns each guide, and this will take you to a list of all of the different folks at the library who've created these resources for you, including me. Let's look at that full list of guides by subject first. If I scroll down, in addition to, again, seeing contact for all of our librarians, you will see that we have a link for history. If I click here, it'll show me all of the guides that we have related to history. That includes a broad how to do history research guide, ones that look at American history, ones that look on more specific topics like the Civil Rights Movement or the Ludlow Massacre or the Roman Republic and Empire. But we also have course guides that look at specific collections that are going to help the research you're doing in a specific course. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the guide for History 202, U.S. History, Part 2. This guide is set up with your course in mind and the work I've done with your professor. There is going to be a getting started page, what you see here, that's going to give you a couple different questions and ideas on picking a topic and where you should start your research. There is a kind of an oxymoron in research where you have to know a little bit about your topic before you do some research on it. And that means that just popping in a huge event like World War II is going to be an overwhelming and very, very widely varied collection of resources. But if you're looking at a specific battle, a specific figure, a specific political movement, a specific event or group, that's going to make it a lot easier for you in finding a relevant and credible and concise research topic. You want to think about how you're going to look at this event in history. It's going to often give you a path to figuring out what that more specific idea that you're interested in might be. So if you're looking at the political history or the economic history about an event, Or maybe you're considered the social, intellectual, or cultural and art history of an event. These are going to determine what you might want to add to your search topic beyond just that event to get more results. If you're not sure about your topic, these are some great databases that I recommend as far as taking a look and seeing what might be out there on your topic. So let's go ahead and click on the US History and Context. Because I've already logged in once with my e-account and password, I'm going to be directed to the database without having to log in. And then here I can put in whatever general topic I might be interested in or the figure. So let's try the Cuban Missile Crisis again. Now you'll see that there is a bolded, a result here. That means that there's a full page on the Cuban Missile Crisis. Let's go ahead and click and see where it takes us. These pages are going to have a wiki, an encyclopedia entry that will give you some background on your topic. So if you aren't sure what the ins and outs, the figures and the dates of the Cuban Missile Crisis might be, you can click on Read More here and get an excellent overview of the topic. It's also from a reliable source, the Dictionary of American History, so you don't have to worry about where their information is coming from. And then as you can see, you have an excellent overview of the topic that will give you a lot of information as to other figures, other terms that you might want to research as well. In addition to helping you get an overview, the in-context databases also give you a wide variety of sources. So not just academic journal articles, but images, magazines that are going to be written with a more popular audience in mind, as well as audios and audio of information, videos and biographies. So it's a great one-stop place to get a lot of information on a topic so you can feel confident that you know enough about the background to dive into your research. And often you can find many of the peer-reviewed articles and sources that you need for your research topic here. I'm going to go ahead and close that window and go back to your History 202 course guide. You can see that there are a wide variety of in-context databases. So beyond this course, take a look at these and see how they might help you with getting some more context about things you're interested in. I'm going to go back to the top of the page. Once you've picked your topic, you're going to want to explore your topic. This tab is going to take you to a page that will help you get to the objective of getting to identify a topic, find the right keywords, find the other terms that historians are using to talk about your topic by looking at those subjects and other things that we see in the records, and then where to search for more resources. Again, background information is really, really helpful. This is going to give you a broad range of topics related to things as well as books by going directly to Credo reference. Let's take a quick look at this database. You'll see that it looks different than our last database, and that's because they all are run a little bit differently, but typically they work in similar ways. Let's just do another quick search for our topic of the Cuban Missile Crisis. And you'll see that we are getting some suggestions. And again, there is going to be a page about our topic. This one is going to pull from the Encyclopedia of American Studies. It's also going to have different types of articles for you that you can take a look at by the type of article. Is it a reference? Is it giving pros and cons? You can also look at the different subjects. Again, these are going to look a little differently because every one of these databases approaches these differently. You can go to even more filters by clicking here. You can see other library resources that it suggests. But one of the things I think is most interesting about Credo reference is this little word map here. I'm going to click on that little icon and expand the mind map. The mind map is going to show you your topic and then again, other related topics. It's going to allow you to move around the mind map and say, well, what I'm really interested in is the Bay of Pigs invasion. So I can click here recenter that, and then I can see the other players involved in my mind map if I'm starting to focus on Bay of Pigs invasion. You can see that there's new aspects that weren't necessarily at the top level if I looked at just the Cuban Missile Crisis that I can again expand and then see where that takes me. And then all of these are connected to show you where the topic has gone. Again, a really interesting visual way and something different to take a look at in terms of where your research might take you. I'm going to go ahead and X out of this and go back to our course guide. Now, we did take a quick look at Super Search and saw how you can find books and ebooks there, as well as other types of sources, including articles. Another type of source that students are often looking for in history research are primary sources. These aren't going to be in the same places as your scholarly sources because they are different. They're not going to be academic articles. They're going to be newspapers, diaries, maps, and other documents. And we have an entire guide right here linked that will give you information on looking at primary sources specifically. We also have scholarly databases that we recommend as most useful to history research. Those include JSTOR, the U.S. History Collection, and our Oxford Handbooks Online History Collection. But these, again, are not the only ones that you'll be able to look at. You have a wide variety of databases available to you just by going to that database link at the library homepage. In addition to exploring your topic and giving you recommendations on where to do that, we also provide more information on the different types of history resources and other places you might want to go to look for those things. And then we also have highlighted a tab here on early American primary sources and where to find those, as well as some helpful information on primary versus original sources and how to distinguish between those two. Again, here are some more primary source databases with early American history in mind. So think of this course guide as kind of like a specialty store that shows you which resources may be most useful for the special research that you're doing in History 202. And that goes through any of the research guides that we have available. You don't have to only look at the ones available for your course. If you find that any one of these might be useful to you, dive in, see what's available in those resources and what's recommended, and always feel free to contact the librarian that's associated with that guide for more help. Like you see, I am also the librarian for Mass Comm, but if you need help with something that is in STEM, in the business school or in nursing, I will happily refer you to one of our other expert librarians. We all are going to be there as resources for you. We just have different areas of expertise. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead, click on my face here. Again, let you know that I have a wide variety of subject areas that I work with as the librarian for Chaz. Feel free to use any of these resources or contact me directly for help with your research in this class. My phone number is here, as is my office number, but I am only on campus 1 day a week this semester, so please take the time to email me. That'll be the way that I will get back in touch with you as soon as possible. One last plug. In addition to all the resources that the library has for you, there are a lot of other resources available on our campus. You will find those in the LARC and online, including the Writing Center, the Gen Ed Tutoring Center. These are wonderful resources that will help you with your writing of your papers as well as creating citations. And then, of course, any type of research or services or anything along those lines that you might need help with, please feel free to click on that chat with a librarian to ask your questions or give us a call at the research desk or the circulation desk during our regular hours. We will do everything we can to help you out and at least get you to the right place. Thanks for your time, and please do reach out for help. Have a great semester and good luck with your research.